Hello, I'd like to talk to you about gender pay gap reporting. As well as specialising in all things share incentives, I also help my clients with their gender pay gap reporting obligations. And so I'd like to quickly run through what that is, who it applies to, and how BDO can help. So the gender pay gap regulations that were introduced in 2017 require a private sector employer with more than 250 employees to publicly report a range of gender pay information each year. For corporate groups, this can be slightly more involved depending on the group structure and employee populations. The reportable gender pay gap figures are calculated by reference to what's called a snapshot date, which is the 5th of April each year, and then reported the following 4th of April. There are 6 metrics which are reportable on the government's website and must be signed off by a senior person within the business, so typically a director or equivalent. Employers need to calculate and report the mean and median hourly pay and bonus pay gap figures, and also publish information on the ratio of men and women in each pay quartile, and also report the proportion of men and women receiving a bonus. You might ask, isn't it fairly straightforward to just work out everyone's hourly pay and then take the averages? The short answer is no. There are specific rules around which pay elements and which employees are included and excluded from the hourly pay and bonus pay metrics, and these are complex and involve different populations of employees. A question I'm asked fairly regularly is how I can help companies with their reporting. Well, we help businesses who simply don't have the resources or expertise to prepare their own calculations, and we work with them to determine what the gender pay gap figures are using the raw data that we collate from their HR, payroll and reward teams. We also support businesses who have prepared figures in-house but want an independent verification of those figures, so as to have some comfort that they're approaching and using the correct methodology. We will do a deeper analysis for some businesses who are keen to understand where precisely the pay gap lies to help them better understand and formulate a plan to tackle that pay gap. And our help can extend to ethnicity reporting also, which, whilst currently not mandatory, has been on the cards as a possible mandatory reporting area for some time. I would hazard nearly half of our clients are businesses that don't yet actually have a mandatory reporting obligation. These companies might wish to start determining the pay gap well before being caught by the 250 employee threshold, or perhaps because they've made internal diversity and inclusion commitments to report and track this information. Clients may also be aware that there have been calls since the introduction of the gender pay gap regulations for them to be expanded to much smaller companies, and they may simply want to get ahead of the curve and prepare their gender pay gap figures in advance of that. So if you think gender pay gap reporting is something that will appear on your company agenda in the near future, do get in touch. We have an experienced team here at BDO and can certainly help whatever level of support you might need.